Kashi Mishra gave him a raised seat. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya brought in the various servants of Lord Jagannath from the temple. He started to introduce each of them. The first one he introduced was, this is Janardhan. It is his service to repaint the beautiful body of Jagannath every year during the 15 days when he is in seclusion between Snan Yatra and Ratha Yatra. And this devotee here, he is the one that walks before Lord Jagannath with a golden cane when he's on procession. Each of these devotees had a special service to Lord Jagannath. They were all so happy meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Meanwhile, Bhavananda Rai, the father of Ramananda Rai, happened to come in, and when he was introduced by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Bhavananda Rai, how fortunate are you? Ramananda Rai, the very most precious jewel amongst all Vaishnavas, is your son. I declare that you are none different than Maharaj Pandu. Your wife is Kunti Devi, and your 5 children are the 5 Pandavas. Bhavananda Rai, he began to cry in great humility. He said, my Lord, my body, my wealth, all my family members, everything I surrender to you. For you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am less than a 4th-class man. I am the lowest of the low and very sinful. But still, you are seeing good qualities in me. You have even embraced me. That is the evidence that you must be the Supreme All-Merciful Personality of Godhead. Please know, as long as you are in Puri, whatever I have is yours. And then he gave one of his sons, Vaninath Patanayaka, to full-time be in the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada said that all Indians should give at least one son to full-time serve the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, Prabhupada said this is the disease in India, that they are not willing to do this. One of our devotees in Bombay, Ramchandra Chabriya, you remember? A very old person. He owns the Sea Palace Hotel, just near Taj Mahal Hotel. We've had many programs on his terrace. He was one of the first devotees to help Prabhupada in London. And when Prabhupada and his devotees came to Bombay, Prabhupada first stayed at his hotel with all of his devotees for about a month or 6 weeks. He was the first person in Bombay to help Prabhupada. Ramchandra Chabriya tells me, most every time I see him, that Srila Prabhupada would regularly express this dissatisfaction with Indians. That every Indian who has several sons should give at least one to full-time serve Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Hare Krishna. Anyways, some of the sons have come to make their parents fortunate and give them the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. So Vaninath Patanayaka became Lord Chaitanya's servant. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after dismissing all of the guests and devotees, he called for Kala Krishna Das. All of this that I am explaining took place right here in Gambhira. He said, just see the character of this man. I brought him with me to South India as my servant, assistant. But then he left me to join the Bhataharis. But somehow or other, I have captured him and brought him back to this place. Now I am dismissing him from my service. He can go anywhere he likes. Kal Krishnadas began to weep and cry. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without any other consideration, left that place to take prasad. When the devotees saw Kal Krishnadas completely rejected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at least it appeared so, Damodar Pandit, Jagadananda Pandit, Mukunda and Nityananda Prabhu, they devised a plan to engage him in the Lord's service. That the devotees of Bengal have been longing for news that Lord Chaitanya was returning from his long journey to South India. Please bring the news to them. Here is Jagannath's Mahaprasad. Give it to Sachi Devi and tell all the devotees the good news. Mahaprabhu has returned to Puri. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas explain that the devotees are more merciful than the Lord. We are all eternal servants of Krishna. By misuse of our own free will, we have all rejected Krishna. We have all run into the community of the Bhattaharis in the form of this material world. This material world is like one big Bhattahari camp. Everyone is exploiting each other. Everyone is trying to take the property of God for themselves. Kal Krishnadas was induced by the Bhattaharis through beautiful women to leave Lord Chaitanya's service. Similarly, Maya is inducing us through so many objects of pleasure in this temporary world to leave and remain away from the Lord's service. So therefore, the Lord, He rewards you according to how you approach Him. You reject Him, He lets you go. But the devotees, the Lord empowers the devotees to come to this world to canvass on His behalf. Please come back home, back to Godhead. This is not reality. You are suffering. In the day you are decorating your dead bodies. In the night you are either wasting your life with sex life or sleep. Chant the holy names of Krishna. Return back to Krishna service. When we have left the Lord, it is only through the mercy of Vaishnavas that we can ever come back into His association. So the devotees engaged Kal Krishnadas in a wonderful service. He went to Sri Navadvip, went to the house of Sachi Devi. He put her in great ecstatic happiness. Nimai has returned. Nobody knew where he was. While traveling in South India in those days, there was no email or fax or telephones. There wasn't even a mail system. Nobody knew. Is he in Rameshwaram? Is he in Udupi? Is he in Kanchipuram? Where could he be? All they knew is he was gone. So imagine Sachi Devi when he finally returned where she knew where he was. How much happiness! And when the devotees understood, they were coming to Kal Krishnadas to hear the wonderful stories of Lord Chaitanya's Leela in South India and how much bliss he was in performing this service. Actually, by the mercy of the devotees, he had the association of Lord Chaitanya. Because by chanting the glories of the Lord, we are with the Lord. By enlightening others in Krishna consciousness, Krishna manifests Himself most vibrantly within our hearts. The devotees were roaring with joy. Advaitacharya decided, let us all immediately go to Jagannath Puri to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Immediately! Soon all devotees from Navadvip, all devotees from Kulinagram, from Srikanda, all directions, they came to the house of Advaitacharya. To celebrate the arrival of Lord Chaitanya, he had a 2 or 3 day festival of chanting, dancing, feasting. The devotees celebrated so wonderfully at Advaita's house, having beautiful kirtans of the holy name. They were making all arrangements to go to Puri.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.